So without further ado, let's begin. Thank you for being here. You're on mute, man.
Sorry, here, let's try that again. Okay, how's that better? Yeah. Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. So thank you for having me. Very much appreciate you inviting me and being here with students. I love talking to students and academic folks because we are trying to teach the world how to do their emotions. And so we are, you guys. Here, let's try that again. Okay, how's that better? Yeah. Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. So thank you for having me. Very much appreciate you inviting me. And sorry, hang on. That's me talking to me. I was duplicated. This is, you guys have a ripple effect, we call it, which is affecting more people. Since you're learning and you're growing and you're going to be teaching and you're going to have families and you're going to be parents, etc., then this impacts, the impact is more extensive. So it makes me happy. So let's talk about emotional intelligence and positive mental health. These are things that we don't normally talk about. And it's really, really critical that we learn about these things because they are happening inside of us, whether we like it or not. They are they never stop until we do. We have thoughts, we have feelings 24/7, 365, and they're happening. So it's the most practical subject there is, in my opinion. Very good to have you all here. I have some goals. I have big goals for the next hour. Going to change your life here. I'd like to introduce you to the science and the art and the magic. Science and art together become magic of emotional intelligence, being smart about our emotions, and positive mental health, and how these two very simple but not always easy concepts can lead us to peace inside and around us. We have a nonprofit working throughout the world. That's how we met. And we are trying to create peace, both inside and around us. We believe that peace starts from within, and I'll go more into that later. But we need to, in order to create peace in the world, we got to start with us, inside of us, and that starts with our emotions, and that starts with being aware of our emotions. And so that's called emotional intelligence. So we're back to all the way down to the beginning, in my opinion. This is very, very good news. This is very good news that you and you alone have the power to control your inner world inside of you, your thoughts, your feelings, your values, your beliefs, your attitudes, your motivations, your moods. All of that stuff is yours. And your actions, especially, our actions are yours. Nobody makes you feel anything. Nobody, without your permission, nobody hurts your feelings. Nobody makes you angry. You do that. And that's very, very good news, because that means that you are in charge of you. That you are in charge of you. I like that. I like being in charge of me. To me, it was the best news I ever heard, was that I am in charge of me. And so I'm trying to spread that to everybody else, because most people don't know that. They think that other people did it to us. It was the government, or our parents, or our teachers, or the environment, or all this, the weather, my teachers. Everybody does this to me. No, they don't. They do what they do. What we take from that, what we decide to think and feel about that, that's ours. That's ours. And that's where we are in control, not them, which is a beautiful thing. And I'd like to inspire you to please share this information, because most people don't know, and they don't know that they don't know. And that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. So they're not looking. So we need to kind of jump up and down a little bit about it. And that's what I'm doing here before it's even light out in California, where I live. I'm trying to share this information. So information about emotional intelligence, you can't learn all this in a book. You can't learn how to swim in a book. You can't learn how to ride a bike in a book, right? You have to experience it. So you can learn some of it. You can learn some of it. And there's two sides of our brain. These are some fun pictures of both sides of our brain. We have very clearly two sides of our brain, right? Well, our intellectual side is the side that we usually work with, and the side that our education is mostly based on, our left brain, our logic, our reason, our knowledge, our information, all that good stuff on our left brain. It's very good stuff, and we're good about that. We're really good at that, and that's a good thing. We're good about that. But what we're not good at is the right brain, the knowing what else is going on inside of us, our emotions, our passion, our creativity, our senses, etc., our intuition. Those are all things that we don't talk much about, and we don't teach much about. We don't learn much about them in school. We don't talk about them at home. We better not deal with them at work, right? So where are we supposed to learn this stuff? We don't. So most of us just learn from the school of hard knocks, we call it, which means just like a very painful way to learn. It can be very powerful, but it can be very painful too. And a lot of people don't learn it. They don't. They never do. So I want to encourage you to balance them. I'm not saying that our EQ, our emotions are more important than our IQ. I'm saying we need to balance them. We need to be smart about what we're thinking. We need to be smart and be smart about what we're feeling and what's going on inside of our body, because our body has given us all kinds of great information that we may or may not be paying attention to. So I'm saying we got to balance our IQ, our intellect, and our emotional side. And so in this, I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to have you share some, and I'm going to have some of this is going to be experiential in addition to me flapping my mouth. Okay. So let's get into it. Emotional intelligence. What is it? It started with, it got popular. It started before that, but it got popular with this book from Daniel Goleman called Emotional Intelligence, Why It Can Matter More Than IQ. Well, like I just said, I don't think it matters more than IQ. It's the same, they're balanced. But this became number 5 on Time Magazine's top 25 most influential books of all time. This was a world changer, and it still is, because people went, oh, I can be smart about my thoughts, and my thoughts and my feelings. I can be smart about that. Yes, you can. Shocker, right? But you can, and you must. Well, you don't must. I used to say that all the time. You need to do this, and I'm saying no. You don't have to. It's your choice. And that's the cool part. It's your choice. You're in charge. So you get to choose if you want to be aware of yourself and deal with your emotions or not. It's up to you. I highly recommend it. But it is, in fact, your choice. So Daniel Goleman says the 4 domains of emotional intelligence are self-awareness, me being aware of myself. I can't do anything until I'm aware, right? We can't do anything until we're aware. That's kind of like, no kidding, but it's true. Second, once we're aware, we can manage ourselves better. We can handle the information that our emotions are telling us, and we can manage our own behaviors and our own self. So we've got being aware and then managing our awareness, right? Secondly is being aware of others, or thirdly, social awareness. We get to know what other people are thinking and feeling too. You don't know what they're thinking and feeling, but paying attention to it is a very good idea. And the last one is relationship management, because our thoughts and feelings are important to us, they're important to them too. And if you will listen to people and make their thoughts and feelings important to you, you become very valuable to them, and you will have better relationships, because people care about what they think and feel. And if you care about what they care about, boom, you got a cool relationship. So you put it all together, harmonious and productive. There are 3 basic steps to emotional intelligence. First, awareness. Like I said, we can't do anything until we're aware. So first is always awareness is first. Second, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is. It's acceptance. Rather than denial and excuse me, lying to ourselves and hiding and avoiding and all that stuff. We just go, hey, I'm having a thought. I'm having a feeling. It's okay. It's okay. And if you're in the United States, you don't have to shoot anybody, and you don't have to shoot yourself. You could just have enough thoughts and feelings and accept them, and then take no action or take some action. But acceptance is just about allowing and believing that you know what's going on inside of you. It also is about, I'm going to say over and over here, is accepting responsibility and ownership that they are your thoughts and your feelings. They're your thoughts and your feelings. In fact, if you don't take anything from this, from me ranting about all this, if you don't take anything away from any of this, please, please, please take that your thoughts and your feelings are yours, and your actions are yours. So emotional responsibility, we call it. We also call it an internal locus of control, LOCUS, locus. That means I'm in charge of me. You're not in charge of me. I'm in charge of me. And that is a big deal. That was huge life changer for me. And for most people, if I had one thing to say from all of this, that's it. You are in charge of you. You're in charge of your thoughts and feelings. And that is wonderful news, and no charge ever, much as you want, anytime you want. So let's get into it. Let's quickly let's do what we call a breakout room. I don't know if you guys have done this before, but let's try breakouts. And what that is on the Zoom, in the Zoom, I'm going to stop sharing. Well, no, I'm not yet. But what I'd like you to do, you guys that are in the big room, find a partner. Take a minute and find a partner. You guys that are on individually, you're going to be put in a room with one other person to talk to, a random person, and we're gonna be sharing a little bit, because this is about exploration, right? We call it discover, uncover, and recover with emotional intelligence. And so we got to go inside and look. And the first thing, awareness, is what are you feeling? The very first thing, what are you feeling? And it's a very simple question, but sometimes it's not easy answer. I call it name it to tame it, where you identify what it is you're feeling. That's awareness and acceptance at the same time. You don't have to take any action, so that's step 3, but you do need to be aware and accept what's going on inside of you. This is a cool chart from 6 Seconds, the number 6seconds.org. They're the largest EQ trainer in the world. And they have this if you go to this particular one, this is Plutchik's Wheel of Emotions, and they have a whole interactive display on their website, and you can do opposites, and you can find out which ones work with which other ones, and it's pretty cool how information. But basically what I want you to do is just check out some of these words to help you realize what it is you're feeling. All right, what is it you're feeling? This is one of the charts that we use for kids, and teachers use for kids. I have a number of teachers who, with their kids, they'll go around the room. Well, I know one of them that does it like 3 times a day. She'll go around the room and just, this chart's up on the wall, and go, so one word, what are you feeling? And you just go around to each of the students, and they identify what they're feeling. What does that do for you? It gives them awareness. It gives them acceptance. It gives them validation. Because you can say, hey, I'm feeling angry. And you go, hey, there's 2 or 3 other people in the room that are also angry. Okay, it's not that big a deal. I don't need to shoot anybody. I don't need to freak out about it. I'm just feeling, it's a feeling. It's just a feeling, and it's okay. And other people have it. I'm not strange or weird or different or broken. I'm just having a feeling. And it's a beautiful, super simple, free exercise that we can do over and over, and very powerful. So if you guys are in the big room, find a partner, or just turn to the person next to you. In the little room, or in the individual rooms, we're going to put you in breakout rooms. And so you and someone else will be speaking, or talking, one of you at a time, hopefully. And that's another emotional intelligence skill, is to shut up and listen sometimes. If you want people to talk to you, then be quiet for a minute and ask them a question, then be quiet and listen to the answer. It's a cool skill. So how do I do this? I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to go to the breakout rooms. Here we go. We have How many people do we have? That depends on how many rooms we make. 47. Okay, so I'm going to make 25 rooms. All right. And so you're going to have 5 minutes, and you're going to need, when it comes up on the screen, you'll need to accept it. It's going to say, go into the breakout room. Okay. And you say yes, and off you go. Okay. So, so we're going to create the rooms. They're already made. Here they go. And I'm going to set it at 5 minutes. And so then come back and tell us how it went when you're done, if you'd like. All right. So off you go. What are you feeling? The question is, what are you feeling? That's all. What are you feeling? And it can be many things, right? At the same time. It's okay. Okay. Good luck. Let me know how this goes. If you're in the big room, yeah, just find a partner. You guys that are still here, are you having trouble joining, or are you choosing not to? If you choose not to, it's okay. You can, but still try to answer the question for yourselves at least. What are you feeling? Like I said, it can be more than one thing at a time. Most people didn't join, so this isn't working very well. All right, well, maybe. So yeah. So I did a class, a 2-month class that we're getting ready to do again on positive mental health, and there was 41 students in that class, and they said by far the most the coolest thing that they about the class was the breakout rooms. And so they really enjoyed them. So I'm sorry it's not working, but it's not working very well this time. So it's all right. We'll do it again later in smaller workshops. Everybody should be coming back now. The rooms are closing. Ready now. Here they come. Okay, well, that didn't go very well. We'll try. I think I'll skip that next time. Does anybody have anything they'd like to share? You guys had got stuck in a room with just by yourself. Sorry about that. Somebody was assigned to you, but they didn't join. So that's okay. So would anybody like to share through chat or raise your hand or come off the mute and share what you experienced there? Remember, it's experiential thing, so talking is helpful to you. Anybody like to share what they experienced or how it went for you? Okay. Okay, I understand. Let's see. All right. Well, I hope that was helpful. It is helpful to know what the heck you're feeling. That's the start of everything is what am I feeling? And then you can decide if you want to do something with it. But first you got to know what it is that you're feeling. Identification is helpful. Name it to tame it kind of thing is helpful. So it's good to know to be really aware of what you're doing, what's going on inside of you, even if you can't name it, specifically. A lot of times it's helpful to know that you're feeling something. There's something going on, and we say try not to get stuck there, trying to like, oh, what is that called? What am I, and that's all jumping over into your left brain intellect. What's more important is that you go, oh, okay, I'm having this feeling. I don't know what it's called, but wow, here goes. Sometimes our feelings can be so powerful and they can overwhelm us. Sometimes they can confuse us. Sometimes they can befuddle us. But often they are. But first, we got to be aware of them. And then accept them, and then do something about them or not. So anyway, feelings are. What are you feeling? Is the first question. So let's talk about positive mental health. All right, there's so much to emotional intelligence. I just said what it means. There's so much to all of this. It's very difficult to get it all out. There's not enough time. There's never enough time to get it all out. This is real simple stuff. You feel what you feel, and we have emotions, and they're not that big a deal. It's not rocket science. But there's a lot to it. And so I never get to finish and teach you all that I want to teach you. I never go through these and say, wow, yeah, I'm saying everything that I wanted to say. Not even close. So emotional intelligence is understanding and being aware of what's going on inside of us. There's a science to it. There's an art to it, and it becomes magic. Positive mental health is about what are we going to do with it? What do we do with that information? Now that our body feels what it feels, what do we do with that information, right? And I'm saying you spin it positive. You make it positive on purpose. We can go down or we can go up. We can be unhappy. We can be happy. We can be grumpy or we can be peaceful and loving and joyous. We can choose. We get to choose. That thing about ownership means that we get to choose. Positive psychology, as you probably have heard, is skyrocketing in popularity because it's so powerful and people are finding that it works. What Dr. Seligman from University of Pennsylvania, he started positive psychology. He said that therapy has been the purpose of therapy was to get people from who are not doing normal. They are down. They're having issues and problems and diagnosable ailments and such with their mental health. They go down, and the purpose of therapy is to get them back to normal, right? So you're going from negative. If you look at this little graph here, you're going from negative back to normal. But Dr. Seligman said, wait a minute, why do we have to stop there? Why do we have to stop there? Let's keep going. If we can deal with our negatives, then we can be more positive. We can actually be better than normal. We can be powerful. We can be successful. We can be resilient. We can be happy. We can be peaceful, that kind of stuff. And so let's learn about our psychology. And I'm saying learn about your mental health so that you can have more positives. So the basics of positive mental health is that we must learn how to deal with our negatives. In particular, down the bottom here, you'll see fear, anger, and sadness. To me, we showed that graph of all those different feelings, and it's really helpful to have a good vocabulary of feelings to know what you're feeling. I have a list of 5,000 words in English language that are feeling related words. And it's good to have a really good vocabulary of what am I feeling? What do they call? What's going on here? Right? Really helpful. And at the same time, it's also really, really helpful to be able to just kind of sum it up, right? I'm not that smart on my IQ side. My left brain's not that great. And so I need things to be simple. So what I did is I'm trying to make it really simple. Fear, anger, sadness. It breaks down to those three. We've been teaching this for a long time, and it kind of boils down to those three. And what I'm saying is, if you can learn how to deal with just those three, your deepest fears, your biggest anger, and your deepest sadness from loss, if you can deal with those three to the extent that your body feels them, there just isn't that much that life can throw at you that you can't handle. That's a big deal. So learn about your fear, your anger, and your sadness in particular, and see whatever you're feeling. Is that one of those or multiples that you can feel all three of them at the same time, which makes it interesting. But if you can deal with those, you can come up and deal joy and peace and love. So that's what positive mental health is about. No matter what's happening outside of us, we get to decide what happens inside of us. We get to control what happens inside of us. I don't know if control is exactly the right word. I say we have the power to control. We have the power to control and the ability to control, but control, you can't actually control your feelings. Hey, I'm going to feel this, or I'm not going to feel that ever again, kind of thing. That's I don't think we can do that, but you can sure influence them. You can sure change them. You can adjust them. You can analyze them. You can go, okay, so if I'm feeling this, I wonder what I was thinking that made me feel this way. Thoughts create feelings. What was I thinking that made me feel this way? If I think I'm safe, I'm going to feel pretty good. If I think I'm unsafe, I'm going to have not very good feelings, right? If it's up to what I think about what's going on. And not only is it based on our thoughts, but we can change our thoughts. If we go, oh, I'm unsafe, and oh no, the sky is falling, and oh my goodness, the things are going to happen, right? If I'm thinking all these things, I can go, wait a minute, hang on, to myself, hang on, is that really true? Is it that bad? Do I want to think those things? Maybe not. I can adjust what I'm thinking. I call it spin it to win it. I can adjust what I'm thinking and I'll probably feel better. I'll go, well, maybe I am being triggered here, and this is from my childhood or something. I'm concerned about this big thing happening, and so I'm feeling real fearful. But that's probably actually, in reality, that's probably not going to happen. So I can settle myself down. I can have some little bit calmer thoughts, and then I can feel calmer and more safe. So we can't always control what's going on outside, but we can control what's going on inside of us. Here's quickly how it works inside of us, right? Events happen outside, things happen, right? If you get out of bed in the morning, things are going to happen. Even if you don't get out of bed in the morning, things are happening. Things are happening in the world outside of you. The weather's doing what it's doing, the government, your teachers, your class, the time moves on and things happen, okay? That's true. That's happening, whether you like it or not, whether you can control it or not. Things are happening. Now we have a thought and or a feeling about what's happening. Okay, now we just took the outside and brought it inside. This is where I say that we're in charge. This is the good news. We are in charge of what goes on inside of us. And when we bring it inside, now it's ours and it's our problem. Okay, so what do we do with it? Next step, become aware. Become aware. I'm having a thought. I'm having a feeling. Awareness first. Second, acceptance. Okay, it's okay. I'm having this thought and feeling. All right. You don't have to like it. You don't have to keep it. But first, it's a very good idea to go, yep, I'm having that thought and I'm having that feeling. That's acceptance, right? Simple, not always easy. Simple, but not always easy. A lot of this stuff, right? So awareness and acceptance are step 1 and 2. Okay, now we can look at it, evaluate it. Do I like that thought? Do I like that feeling? Is this what I want to deal with? Is this what I want to run with? Is this it? Do I like that? Is that working for me? Kind of thing. Then, all right, that's evaluation. Next is decision. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? If anything, what am I going to do? What do I do about this? And there's a difference between what are you going to do about a problem and what are you going to do with a problem? Think about that. What am I going to do about this? Okay, example, the war's happening, right? In Russia and Ukraine. What am I going to do about that? Well, I don't know if there's all that much I can do about it. Actually, I kind of am doing something about it I hope, by teaching people how to be peaceful so we can not have so many wars, right? But there isn't all that much I can do about it. What do I do with it? What do I do with it? Okay, that's different. That is, what am I going to do with my thoughts and my feelings about the problem? That's a whole different question. And that is a critical question to the whole thing. All right. It may or may not be able to do anything about it, but what do I do with it? Do I get really mad? Do I get really scared? Do I attack other people, or do I become more peaceful? What am I going to do with this? Right. I'm not fixing the problem, but I'm dealing with the problem. So we get to decide, and then we get to take some action or not. Take some action or not. And what that means is that I can feel, I can think whatever I want, I can be as upset as I want and not do anything. A lot of times, no action is a good idea, a really good idea, especially when it comes to strong emotions. So sometimes taking no action is a really good idea. And the good news is that even if you decide not to act, who's in charge? Who's in charge? You are, right? You are. That's the part. That's the cool part. That's the cool part, is that you're in charge of you. And that's what I like. That's the part I like. So then a bunch of our actions become our behaviors and who we are and what we do and all that kind of stuff. And then the results that we get in our life are based on our thoughts, feelings, decisions, actions. So that's kind of real basics of how it works. And you're in charge of you doing that. So inside of us is our thoughts and our feelings. Outside of us is our actions and results. So just know that it wasn't too long ago that I figured out that that you can think and feel whatever you want, but as soon as you act, now it's outside of you. Now other people are going to get involved. Now you're going to have consequences because it's outside of you. So warning, actions are a big deal. They're important, but they're a big deal. So, all right, we have two sides of our brain. Oh, that was supposed to be somewhere else. Sorry, but we have two sides of our brain. We went through this already. So let's talk about the results. So where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? We're emotional intelligence is knowing what's going on and how our emotions work. Positive mental health is being able to do something with it. There's strategies and skills and behaviors that we can do to manage our intelligence that we learned about. We're learned about that we're thinking and feeling something. What are you going to do with it? That's positive mental health, right? And where are we going with this? Peace. We're going for peace, and world peace begins with inner peace. So if we can settle ourselves, if we can manage our inner world, we can get some inner peace, right? If we can't, if we're in turmoil, how are we supposed to create peace around us? Dalai Lama said, through inner peace, genuine world peace, it can be achieved. That's pretty cool, right? That in itself, a lot of people think it can't, but I believe it can, and he believes it can. In this, the importance of individual responsibility is clear. A peace must first be created within ourselves, then gradually expanded to include our families, our communities, and ultimately the whole planet. Pretty cool, right? So that's the basis of our nonprofit, and that's what that's kind of the basis of what my destiny or whatever I decided that this is what I'm doing with my life, and it's all based on this. It's all based on this. So we're working with with peace. Peace there's a number of factors to peace. Inner peace inside of us, like I said, we're trying to be able to settle ourselves and be able to be calm and peaceful. It's a wonderful feeling. There's also interpersonal peace between us. Me and you can get along. We can learn how. These are skills. These are teachable skills to learn how to get along and communicate and listen to each other and love and accept and still have boundaries. Doesn't mean you're weak and the victim and people can walk all over you. Does not mean that at all. A lot of people have criticized emotional intelligence. Oh, it just means being all peachy, and all positive mental health means you're all happy all the time and you tell it and you ignore all the negatives. No, it's about dealing with the negatives, and so that you can have some peace. It's about being smart and being powerful and having boundaries and having limits and knowing yourself really well. That's part of interpersonal peace, is to know that I'm safe with you and you can be safe with me. And that takes some power inside of you, and it takes emotional intelligence. So there's inner peace, like I said, me. Interpersonal peace between us. There's social peace among us, which is our families, our classes, our school, our teams, our government, our community, our culture, our country, all that stuff. We can all learn how to get along better and create some social peace, hopefully. And so all three of these between them, someday, maybe when enough people learn how to be peaceful inside and out, maybe we can get big peace for all of us, global peace. We'll see. I'm going to give it a shot anyway. We are giving it a shot. So are we born with this? No, we're not. We're born with very, very, very few fears. I've heard two fears. As some of the research that I've read says, we're afraid when we're born of loud noises, bam, and falling. Loud noises and falling. That's it. That means that all your fears that you have now, you brought them, you created them along the way. You picked them up, you made them up, you picked them up along the way. That's nurture. They came to you. You picked them up as you went. So we were not born with a bunch of fears, and we're not born with any anger, theoretically. And so whatever it is, we picked it up. And the good news is we can put it back down, meaning we can move it around. It's not stuck in us, and it's not part of who we are. It is something we learned and we can manage. Again, me in charge of me. Good news, right? So there's some different things. There's ways of studying our emotions. A lot of people have never talked about them before. A lot of people don't use the word feelings or emotions ever in their life, ever. And so how are we supposed to know about them? This is a cool chart that shows that that scientifically we can deal with our different emotions. You notice this first one, onset was real fast. And then how intense, how high does it go? And then how long does it last? And then does it settle down after a little while? Paul Ekman was talking about anger in particular. But you get the idea is that our emotions can go and then settle back down. In fact, I mentioned before 6 seconds. The reason it's called the biggest trainer, EQ trainer in the world, the reason it's called 6 seconds is because they found that studies of the brain have shown that it takes about 6 seconds for you to go to react and then settle down. If it takes about 6 seconds through your body. And so kind of like counting to 10. So if you can just be calm for a minute, then you can, for a minute, for less than that, for 6 seconds, doesn't even take a minute, then you can respond to life rather than reacting, right? If you go with the very first feeling, sometimes it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be big and ugly sometimes. So it's better if you can take a second and think about, meaning put your brain into work and your heart into gear, and make good decisions, and you can respond to life rather than react. Okay, so the basis of balancing our thoughts and our feelings is that things need to make sense and feel good. Make sense and feel good, or feel right. That's IQ and EQ together. So this is a good one for you guys. I thought I threw this in for you is because a lot of you are business majors. I'm working for the School of Business, and check this out. This is the job skills report in India for 2 years from now. They're saying these are the top 15 job skills, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them are EQ related. 8 of them of the 15. Kind of a cool thing to get good at, in my opinion. At school, at work, at home, in life, all society, all of it. Emotional intelligence is a huge part of our lives, whether you know it or not. I highly recommend that you get better at it. Really, really a big deal. Let's see. All right, we're not going to do another breakout room. That didn't go very well. Okay, so just maybe you could do in the chat. Let's just do it in the chat, shall we? In fact, I got a quiz coming up here in just a minute, and I'd like you to share, if you would, in the chat, just the number. How important are feelings and emotions in your life? 1 being, I don't pay any attention to them. I ignore them completely. They're not important at all. 5, 1 through 5, 5 being, whoa, wow, they're super important. I pay attention to them. I'm well aware of what I'm thinking and feeling. So to you, 1 through 5, how important are your feelings and emotions in your life? Just throw a number in the chat if you can. Okay, we got some. Okay, good. All right, we're doing 1 through 5, and we got an 8. Excellent. No, I'm just playing, but it's so that's cool. I assumed out of 10, 4, 5. Anybody else want to throw your numbers in there? How important are feelings and emotions to you? What I'm suggesting, of course, is that they become more important to you, not just passing thing, but they're more important than they were before. All right, I think we're on the quiz now, right? Yeah. Okay, so here we're gonna. Okay, thank you for sharing, you guys. It does help. It actually does, for you, not just for me. It's more interesting for me, but for everybody else, people can learn from you. But it's helpful for you as well. Sharing works well. Okay, so we're gonna take a quick quiz. This is a quiz that I had published in the Oxford University Press. I was very proud. It was actually a blog post that I did some like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, and I was just throwing stuff out, but it turned out to be pretty awesome and got published, and I even got $100 for it, and I was very proud. Anyway, it is a really cool, because what it does is it shows us not only how you're doing, but what to do. There's some steps here that are really helpful in processing and dealing with your emotions. So if you would, I'm going to ask you 7 questions. Rate yourself 1 through 5. If you want to put it in the chat, please do. Otherwise, maybe write it down, or because we're going to keep score. There'll be 7 of them, and so 35 is the highest you can get, and we'll sum them up at the end. So, okay, you ready? So what do we do, and how well do we do it? So here's the first one. Awareness. Surprise, surprise. When your body feels something like fear, anger, sadness, shame, guilt, whatever, how well do you notice and become aware of your feelings? How well do you notice and become aware of your feelings? 1 through 5. You pretty aware of yourself, or not really, or Not at all. 1 through 5. All right, we're getting some good answers. Cool. Some 3, 4, 5s. All right. Any more? All right. How well aware of you and this is about you. Okay. Okay. Get a number in your head if you don't want to put it in here. All right. Second, what do you think second is? Acceptance. Is it okay with you when you feel sad or afraid or angry or whatever? Is it okay with you? How well do you accept your feelings versus judging and denying them? Sounds easy, super important. Sometimes it's not. A lot of times people answer number 1 higher than number 2, meaning I'm aware of it, but it's not okay with me. It's not okay with me. So you can skip that step and go to, yeah, that's all right. All right. Yeah, that's just okay. It's okay. We call it permission to feel, giving yourself permission to feel. It's acceptance, just going, you know what? All right. Yeah, I'm having a feeling. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Good, good, good. All right. What's next? Third, identification. So I'm aware and I accept it. Now, what is it? What is it? When you notice that you're feeling something, how well do you identify the feeling that you're having? How can you separate and name your feelings correctly? Correctly is kind of a weird word in this case because you never know if it's wrong. I mean, and it's because it's inside of you, and you went through that wheel and you named some feelings. Are they right? Are they wrong? I don't know. Doesn't really matter in a way. It helps me explain me to me. That's helpful. So identification is helpful, but you never really know. There's no answer sheet. so but it's helpful to know what you're feeling. So this is why I did that question earlier. What are you feeling? So identification. Good. Okay, we got a bunch of 4s and 5s. Good, good, good. All right, you guys are good at that. All right, here comes a tougher one. Expression. Okay, now we're having a thought and feeling. What are you going to do about it? What do I do with it? How well do you express your feelings and let them out of your body as opposed to stuffing them down inside or bottling them up? This does not mean necessarily dumping on somebody else or yelling in their face or that kind of stuff. I'm expressing myself all over you. Actually, if that you do that, give yourself a lower score here, because that's not how you do it, right? You're expressing it for the purpose of releasing it. You're expressing it to get it out of you. Does not have to be onto someone else. It's just out of you, so you don't have to carry it around. A lot of times with our pain and or anger, stuff that didn't go well, we carry it around and we keep it inside of us, and our body doesn't like that. Our body doesn't like that. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So we need to sometimes get this out of us. All right. And next is release. So once we express, sometimes people are angry and then they're angry and then they're angry and they're angry again. They're like, no, yeah, you're expressing it, but you never let go of it. You need to release it. Once your body feels a negative feeling, how well can you let go of it and let it dissipate out of you? Or do you hang on to it and keep it inside of you? Because like I said, your body does not like that, Your mind like it. You might think that, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do, and it's not cool to express myself. And I was told to that feelings are weakness and some other judgments we have on stuff. No, you feel it and you let it go. We call it feel it to heal it. Feel it to heal it, which means you let your body feel what it wants to feel, and then let it go, and then let it go. That's how you heal it. So release, that's a big deal. Most people don't think about this. Once you feel something, you got to let it go. All right. Next, and here's something most people don't know about, is that once you do let it go, maybe you carry anger in your back or in your neck or in your belly, or some people in your hands, or your pain, you're scared and your tummy's all tight and your heart's all clogged up. That's that kind of thing. Well, you can take that stuff and let it go. You can release that information, that pain inside of you, and then you can fill yourself back up. You can actually replace the negative space with some positive. You can fill up with peace and love and joy, and replace the negative feeling with positive feelings. Actually, and it's kind of, imagine, you can't see it. It's weird that way, but it's true. And try it. It's amazing. It's amazing. You can actually replace the negative feelings with positive. So that's about about that. How good are you at that? We got some 1, 2, 3s. This is tough. This is tough. You can get good at it though. Get good at it, because this is really important that you be able to release stuff then and then fill back up. Otherwise, if you leave that space open, sometimes it fills back up with negatives again because you had the same thoughts. If you change your thoughts and change your feelings, you can change your life big time. But if you keep the same thoughts, you're probably going to end up with the same feelings, and you're probably going to build right back up again, all the negative stuff again. So get good at that. All right, we're doing good. And the last one is, ta-da, how well do you encourage and respect your true feelings, complimenting yourself for your awareness and expression and release? We call it rejoice, release, replace, rejoice. All right, let it go, fill up with the good stuff, and then yes, and you encourage yourself. That's positive mental health. That giving yourself a pat on the back is a positive mental health thing. Highly recommend it. So this is about you encouraging you. All right. So here's a recap. First is awareness. Yep, I'm feeling something. Acceptance. Yep, I'm feeling it. It's okay. Identification. What is it? Expression. Ooh, I don't like it. I don't want it. I'm going to express it, or I need to say this, or I need to not say this, or whatever. But it's deciding how I'm going to express it, but I can still release it is the next one. I can let that out of my body. I can then pull in some positive from your higher power, or from your friends, or from love, or from your heart, or wherever you can. And you can pull in some positives and replace the negatives with positives. And then you can you can rejoice, and you can celebrate, and you can encourage yourself for doing that. So those are the steps. So sum them up, add them up. I just made these up with these ratings, but basically more is better. If you're good at it, good, great. So anybody want to put in the chat what score they got as a total? Some people are really good at dealing with their emotions, and they don't know that they're good at it, and they don't know how they got good at it. Maybe you had a cool mentor or a parent or somebody in your life that taught you about how to deal with your emotions. So if you're good at it, great. That's great. And please share, please share with other people how'd you do that, or how do you do that? I'm creating a website called positivementalhealth.online. Then we're trying to, one of the things is helping each other figure out how to do positive mental health. How do we do it? How do we do this? And so we can help each other, because some people are really good at it, some people are not so good, and there's specific things you can do to help ourselves, etc. So if you're good at it, great, keep going and show somebody else. If you're not so good at it, learn more, because it's really, really important. So that's my quick little quiz. I hope that's helpful for you to see the steps and to be able to see how well you do each one. So again, at the end of this, I'll give Darshini this PowerPoint, and so you can have it and you can use this later if you want to, and you can use it later and you can give it to your friends and find out. It makes great conversation. So we're going to reflect. How did you do? How do you think and feel about how you did? What do you think about what you think about? This is emotional intelligence called meta study. It's us studying us. It's thinking about what we're thinking about and feeling about what we're feeling about. And so we reflect. Reflect is a very important skill, or a important strategy. Is how did that go? Or we get at the end of our day, or the end of a problem, or working with somebody, and we go, so how'd it go? And reflection is a big deal here. And then figure out what can you do better? What can you do better? That's basic education and improvement, personal growth and improvement is, all right, this didn't go too well. I can do it better. Let's learn how to do it better over time. All right. So empathy, number one skill, positive mental health. Empathy is the number one skill. I run a bunch of social media groups and Facebook and LinkedIn, and we asked a question and got thousands of answers. By far, the number one skill for positive mental health was empathy, and that starts with you being empathetic toward you. You being empathetic toward you first. If you are harsh and cruel and mean to yourself, guess what's going to come out? Probably. So be nice to you and give yourself what we call permission to feel. By the way, Permission to Feel is the name of a fantastic book by Dr. Mark Brackett, who runs the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence, called Permission to Feel. And if you think of the concept, you don't have to actually read the book. Just do it. Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission, because a lot of people don't. They have judgments. They have blocks. They have fears, etc., and they don't give themselves permission to feel. I highly recommend that you do. Safety is huge. That's part of it. Is that permission to feel is you being safe with you. And if you can give yourself some slack in the feeling department, then you're going to get a lot more peace. If you are at war with yourself, that's not going to go very well, right? So learn how to create inner peace and create peace around you, peace in your relationships. And the advanced is where you learn, you're good enough at it that you can actually teach other people how to be peaceful inside of them, and how they can be helpful to you, how they can be safe and peaceful with you. That's pretty cool, right? So here's a couple of hashtag. I do hashtags again. I like King's, real simple, trying to sum them up. Purposefully, be positive on purpose. Find purpose in your positivity, and it works great. Exaggerate enthusiasm. As you can see, that's one of the things I'm pretty good at. Kind of wacko about it, but it's kind of fun. Is to we can be down and we can be all shut down and we can be all calm, but it's not that much fun. I don't find it very much fun, and it's not engaging to other people. So I exaggerate our enthusiasm a little bit. It doesn't mean to be stupid about it, but it does mean we need to get some exaggeration. So okay, I'm being asked to shut this down because it's taken too long. I'm already 8 minutes over time. So let's see if I can sum it up. I'm going to jump to the last slide. Sorry about that. Please. Oh yeah, I'm just going to jump to the last slide. The last slide is about feelings matter. Please make them more important to yourself. That you that they're more important. We're finding study after study showing that they're way more important than we ever imagined. So please learn about them and make them more important in your life. Give yourself permission to feel. As I said, emotional responsibility. You are in charge of you. You're in charge of you, and that is great news. But that means no more blaming. They didn't do it to me. They didn't make me mad. They didn't hurt my feelings. I did that, and I can do stuff with it. So it's on you. It's kind of it's on you, but that's a good thing. Share what you learn, please, with other people, because most people don't know that they don't know about emotions, and they're not looking, but we need to share them. So all right, well, I guess I need to stop. So I apologize for going over. We'll do again later and keep going. But hope this was helpful for you. Let me know.
Thank you, Matt.
Hey, hi, sorry about that. Get excited.
Thank you. Do you want to share something else before we close the session today? Students or just any participant can ask questions to Matt in the chat.
Nope. Good question. Okay, question in the chat was, how do we get out of the spiral of dwelling on negative thoughts? Well, first off, notice, awareness, acceptance, action. First, notice them. All right. So it sounds like you're noticing them, you're dwelling on them. They're negative thoughts and they're yucky. Second, usually when we're overthinking, which is what it sounds like, you dwelling on negative thoughts is overthinking yucky stuff. That usually means you're under feeling, which means that it's not the thoughts that are the problem. It's that you're mad or you're hurt or you're sad about those, and you've got to deal with that pain that's inside of you. And that's what keeps the thoughts going over and over and over again, is that I'm mad about this and I'm still mad about this, and I'm still mad about this. And the feel it to heal it thing is about just let yourself scream sometimes. And when you're sad, or you're hurt, let yourself cry sometimes. It's a beautiful thing. That's the permission to feel thing. That's what your body wants to do. That's what your body wants to do. And if you can allow yourself to express your feelings and let them go, then a lot of times it can actually change your thoughts. Our negative feelings that get stuck in our body, especially through trauma. All the slides that I didn't do were about adverse childhood experiences, about stuff from our past that is pushing at us now. So I said to skip over that stuff, but it's really important that we allow ourselves to express some of the feelings that are stuck inside of our body. Or else they end up being all this stuff going on in your head, and it's not helpful. So let yourself feel. Any other questions? Yeah. All right. I hope that's helpful. I don't.
You have mentioned that whatever happens, we are always in control of our lives. So the outside actions may have a huge impact on us, which can demotivate and derail us. So how do we say to ourselves that we are in always control us? How do we regain that control?
Good question. So yeah, this stuff happens to us and it happens around us, and it happens, or it's happening. That is true. I won't say that we have control. We have the power to adjust what's going on inside of us. But knowing that means that no matter what happens, I get to choose. So if I'm sitting here thinking all this negative stuff, I go, wait a minute, hang on a second. I don't want to think that. I don't want to keep going over this over and over and over this. What I'm going to do instead is to change my thoughts, right? I'm going to change it. Example, somebody steps on your toe. Okay, you're walking and somebody steps on your toe. Did they do that on purpose? If you think they did that on purpose, you're probably going to feel yucky about it. You're going to get upset about it. What the heck? You don't have the right. What are you doing? That's not fair. Blah, blah, blah. All this stuff's going to go on, and you're going to feel all this stuff. If you go, wait a second, maybe not. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe that's not exactly what happened. And maybe maybe they didn't notice. Maybe they don't even know. Maybe they're thinking about something else and they got some trauma in their life and they're having trouble with something and they didn't even notice. Maybe it has nothing to do with me. We call it depersonalizing. Maybe it's, and we also generalize. We got to be careful of our generalities. We go, oh, that's not fair. Life is not fair, or people are mean, or people don't care about me. Those are big, huge generalities. You can't do anything with that. You can't do it. You can't change people. People are, or men are, or women are, or parents are, that's too big. You could say that person didn't know what they were doing or wasn't paying attention. All right, I might need to be aware of that person, but it's not everybody. It's not all of them. And so be careful of your generalizations. Try to make them more specific, and then you can do something with them instead of this huge drama, huge generalization. So I'm not sure if I answered your question, but like I said, I can go on and on and on. There's so much to this. It's not rocket science. It's not complicated, but there's a lot to it. Anybody else? Like I said too, is I'll send you a link to the PowerPoint, and I'll put on Google Drive, and you guys can download it if you want. If you would share that with everybody, I'd appreciate that.
Right. I think that is all, Matt. Thank you for joining. Cool. Thank you for taking this session. See you soon.
Thanks for having me. Let's do some more. Do it again. Do more. There's more. There's more. There's more. There's more.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thanks, y'all. Take care.